No! Dude! This is freeze chest in level 12. Hey, I mean the packet loss. Dude, that was packet loss. You know, the server start, it's laggy, you know. Shit. What the fuck is this shit? Stupid packet losses today. Wow, nice lag spike. Quick bet this is going to be freeze I'll die. Actually, it wasn't even freeze. Shit. I died before. Let's get the infusion of Mr. Kitava. You guys ready? Hey, challenge completed. Give me wings now. Oh, freeze! Oh, Explo, man. What the fuck is this shit, dude? Hello? Hello? This is not tier 16. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? She dead, bro? Sin? Hello? What? What? Let's actually do the boss in the clouded version. Easy clap. Oh shit, wait. Do we get an extra? Wait, she's actually Ah! No! Hardcore solo self unviable build. The boss is actually frozen when the other dude is like casting something. I think that's the Splinter dude. Alright, we got this, boys. We got this. Just play it nice and easy. Some explosion here. Burst! Woo! Ah, no! Hey! Ah! We got this. We got this. We're gonna chibate them in. I should go to bed, dude. I have a reaction time of I don't know what. I was really like, wait, what? What just happened, dude? God. Oh, cast on death, portal for the win. Dude, easy clap. See? Hardcore solo self found viable. At least Kitava. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So, League evening is done, or League night, League start night basically. Yesterday at 21 p.m. or at least 9 p.m. my time, Delirium League was going live. And I want to talk about the League start itself. We had a nice, what was it, like 12-hour stream. It's currently 9 in the morning, so yeah, basically 12 hours. And I want to talk over the goals that I had and if I achieved them, and about how is the build coming along and what do I think about the Delirium League. And yeah, all of these kind of things, and also the plans and how the build is going to be now updated basically, and so on. So let's start with the basics. The goal was getting level 70 and getting ready for mapping, and yeah, we did it. I'm now level 73. Basically, usually my character would be like 65, 66 or something once I kill Kitava, but this time around I was doing the Delirium mechanic from the beginning on, as soon as I saw it for the first time until now, until basically Kitava. And I'm gonna say, let's talk about the Delirium League a little bit later. And yeah, level 73, so now I would be able to open my first map. As always, I've done all the quests, all the side quests. I even did 3 of 4 labs already, all of those deathless. So the build is coming along pretty nicely now, okay? So it was actually rougher than I thought, especially after Delirium. So let's talk about Delirium itself. How does it feel like? For me, personally, I really like it. The reason for that is it doesn't really feel like a mechanic itself, you know, like Blight, where you say like, okay, you go into a map, you find Cassia, you know, and you know, okay, now we're gonna do the league mechanic. You now stand there like 2, 3, 4 minutes and whatnot, or you're gonna go Delve, for example, you're in a separate instance, and then you're gonna push in Delve or Menagerie or something. It doesn't really feel like the typical league mechanic, because you see the portal, you move in there, and you keep on mapping or doing your quest and whatnot, because, you know, it doesn't, it's just no negative aspect doing that, you know. There is a lot of more monsters, you get a lot of experience. As I said, normally I would be like level 66 or so, now I'm 73, and now I'm killed Kitava like 10 minutes ago or so. So it does feel really great, but it is actually super rippy. So I'm actually scared to show my death counter here, because as I said, I had a rough start. I want to go over that a little bit later. But basically, I had 2 deaths, I think, that were naturally once I opened the chest that had a freeze mod on, and I was just like not having a freeze flask, you know, it's just typical rookie beginner mistakes. The other one, I was just getting one-shotted and stuff. But 95% of my death were through the Delirium mechanic. So I'm a player, you know, I open the mechanic and I just push, you know, and yeah, it was always to that point, either the map was gone, or I was too fast in some cases, or I'm just gonna get one-shotted, because it's really hard. At some point I was really struggling with my build. It was about level 40 or 50 or something like that, somewhere Act 6, 7, where it felt like super shitty. I thought my build is actually crap in the beginning, because I was always into the cloud basically, and I was sometimes just getting one-shotted. The monsters were insanely tanky, but I actually just misunderstood the situation, because the questing itself, going through the acts, was actually super easy, dude. I just use one Pestilent strike, and the whole, even if it's a rare pack, they're just exploding, you know? But the problem is, since I always open those Delirium mechanics and I always push the map or the quest while having the cloud active, at some point the monsters are ridiculously tanky, and you're just gonna get blown away here from so many mechanics. But I like it. The reason for that is simple. It's hard, it's challenging, and sometimes, especially the first 5 acts wasn't too hard, but after some time, the same with Metamorph, you know, the first Metamorphs are like easy clap, you know, like 2-3 hits, this shit is gone, you know, but after some time you feel like, holy shit, the Metamorph is now getting super tanky, I should probably skip it until mapping, you know, and it's basically the same here. I did not skip it, but I just say, like, at some point, somewhere Act 6 or 7, the Delirium monsters getting ridiculously tanky, and it's just super hard. But I like it. I see that the Delirium monsters is like 3 or 4 times harder than the actual map, or at least the quest that I'm in. Let's say I'm running Blood Aqueducts for the humility cards, what I did before. I'm just running through, even my Plague Bearer is killing everything there. But as soon as I open the Delirium and I move like half of the map, I cannot one-shot. I have to manually pause and stop the league, the mechanic, because I know in the next 3 or 4 seconds I'm gonna die, because it's getting so rough, right? And this is something I really like. And if I think now, getting like tier 16 maps, and if the percentage-wise is staying that hard, right? It's going to get crazy, because as I said, running through a map, easy clap. Activating league mechanic, I'm gonna die, you know? And now doing that in tier 16, and then maybe choose, and with watchstones and whatnot, you know? Holy moly, that's gonna be fun. Okay, early build showcase, how does it look like at the moment? So let's, I think, since I haven't really ran a map yet, and I want to do this on stream tomorrow, or later when I wake up, I want to go over a Blood Aqueducts run. This is adequate. We are having a 4-link setup at the moment, going over the gear a little bit later, but just so you get a feeling on how this looks like. So basically flame dashing, right? So here you have the mechanic now, right? So the problem is sometimes I'm actually so fast with killing stuff that I'm actually running out of the cloud and the mechanic stops. So I actually have to wait a little bit now. I actually want to wait a little bit because this happens so often because the build is getting super fast. But as you see, monsters, okay, now they die. That's totally fine. The poison proliferation, a map here for later. All is good, right? But if we just continue that now, you're gonna see at some point mobs are not dying anymore. And sometimes I'm just gonna get one-shotted. See that monster? It tanks up like 5-6 seconds. See that? That's what I'm talking about. At some point, it was like half a map or so, besides leg spites, the monsters are just not dying anymore. See that? And this is actually the point now where I basically have to stop the mechanic because I know even the white monsters, they're probably just gonna kill. See, I'm not doing damage anymore. Even Plague Bearer is on. So now is the point where I have to stop the mechanic because otherwise I would die in the next 2 or 3 seconds. And now for a good comparison, we still have half of the map to run. Let's look how this looks like when I'm not in the Delirium, right? I'm just running through. Absolutely no problem. Even the rare monsters are just dying away here. There's just poison proliferation here, all the magic packs, all that. Easy clap, you know? So that's what I mean. And it looks very promising, because if I convert this now to a tier 16 map, it's going to get ridiculously crazy and you need so much min-maxing to actually go through. But as you see, build is now coming along great, but now I want to talk about the early start. If you followed my build guide basically, or at least my starter idea, the video from yesterday, you maybe had the idea like, hey, the build from mbX looks actually pretty fun and pretty fast. I want to play that too. And I guess you had some problems. Like for me, you had a bow in the start, right? You're ranger. You have like maybe toxic rain or something. So I was like, I need to get something with poison. I want to start with poison anyways, right? So what I did was muling from an assassin the Cobra Lash. I was like, yeah, Cobra Lash is actually super fun to map with, or at least to level with, run around. And it was terrible. It was actually terrible. I think I found my first rare claw at level 15 or so. It took like 10 minutes for Merveil because I had in my main hand, I had, I think, like a blue dagger, in the offhand a white claw. I just couldn't get any upgrades. You know, league start, you don't have currency, there is nothing on the market in the first like 1 hour, 2 hours or so. So it's basically solo self-found. And it's an attack-based build. It doesn't matter if it's now Cobra, like Pestilent Strike, or it was before Cobra Lash. You're bound, it's an attack build, so you're bound on the weapons that you're gonna find. The first big upgrade that I made, and this was the point when things changed, right? That was like level 35 or so. Through the league mechanic and through other stuff, I found 2 Chaos Orbs, and I bought these Mortem Morsu. Requires level 34, and this is actually pretty nice weapon. You have attack speed, crit strike chance, physical attack damage. This is actually chance to poison hits, so from that point on I had like 100% chance to poison, super nice. From that point to level 60, it was quite nice. And then I switched to the Wasp Nest, going over the currency progress a little bit later. So like from level 1 to level 34 until I got these 2 weapons, it felt super terrible, especially because of Delirium, and once the monster's getting like super tanky, it starts to be really clunky, right? But after this point, even at level 28 or something, when I actually got the Pestilent Strike as my quest reward, or basically bought it from the vendor, it still felt like trash. Still, I not even have a 5-link yet, so I'm playing on a 4-link at the moment with Dendrobait. So let's go quickly over on what did I find on how to make currency, basically, or how I did it in the first hours. Currently having 6 Chaos here, and a little bit more on stash here. So, let's see. As I said, the first thing that I was going to do was the Mortem Morsum. That were my first 2 Chaos Orbs that I spent to having some nice weapons, right? The next thing, since I just didn't want to force myself to stop the league mechanic, you know? I was just like activating it, and then I just either, as I said, either I go to the next instance, like the next map, the next portal basically, the next quest, or I died. So what I did is the next 3 chaos I actually invested into a portal gem to get the good old, where is it, cast on death portal. This is not a hardcore setup, okay? But this was actually pretty nice because, you know, opening the Delirium and just push, either you do it or you don't. Anyways, you're not going to lose too much life with a portal gem, and you're going to save your portal scrolls as well. The next thing what I did is, after the next couple of chaos, was buying the Corralitos signature. This is one of the best flasks, basically, or the best poison flask. First of all, you get the, the Perfect Agony Keystone, which is this one here, where you basically have the critical multiplier converted, half of it to damage over time multiplier, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter, but one big effect here, 70% increased duration of poisons you inflict during flask effect. So we know that a poison has a certain duration, and based on your attack speed, you can calculate the maximum poison stacks that you can get, okay? So let's say you the poison duration is 2 seconds and you have 10 attacks per second, then you would apply 20 poisons maximum, because then you apply poison number 21, but the first one falls off. So this is your maximum poison stacks that you can have. With this flask having a lot more duration of the poison means that you can stack up way more poisons based on that, right? This is why I said this is important, I want to have that. Good, the next thing that I was buying was Dendrobate. Dendrobate is a super cheap poison chest, basically, where it says like 300 dexterity, you get up to 100% increased damage with poison, and if you have 150 intelligence, you're gonna get poison duration. So as I just said, poison duration is going to help you with the total DPS done. And here we have supported gems out by level 10 poison. God. Socketed gems are supported by level 10 lesser poison. So here I have my Pestilent Strike with Ancestral Call for the clear speed, then poison support and deadly ailments. Main reasons for that, this is not the best damaging setups. It's more about I just didn't want to invest too much into my gems, or at least into chromatics, trying to recolor this to like 2 blue for unbound ailments and stuff like that. So I just kept that one, and as you see, we have Pestilent Strike with Ancestral Call, which is basically a less damage, and I'm just doing 2 additional hits, but this is not for single targets, so this is a dead skill, or a dead support skill for single targets. Still, now I'm doing enough damage with the Wasp Nest, but if you want to do single target, either swap out Pestilent Strike for Viper Strike, will give you a lot more damage, especially when you do Labyrinth, or just remove the Ancestral Call for now. But basically, it's just a dead support. It's not like it's giving you too much less damage, like a greater multiple projectiles or stuff would do on bow skills. It's basically just like a dead support gem, right? So I'm talking here Pestilent Strike, Poison, and Deadly Ailments. Even Poison support is kind of useless. I do have more damage with Poison, right? But there is better support gems. For example, Deadly Ailments or Vile Toxin and stuff like that. Good. And then I was on the point where I said, like, I'm now at Blood Aqueducts, I have 0 chaos, and I need Wasp Nests, because this would be the next upgrade to the Mortem Morsu. They are super nice, fizz damage, attack speed, accuracy, poison on hit, and attacks with this weapon deal 80 to 120 added chaos damage against enemies affected by 5 poison stacks, which you're gonna get super fast, basically based on your attack speed. Since we're dual wielding, we do actually have some quite moderate attack speed. It will be way faster at some point, adding multi-strike and stuff like that, but I have to work with what I have right now, right? So, how do I get this? I was just saying, you know what, I'm level 60 now, let's just farm Blood Aqueducts. In the end, I farmed a total of 10 humility cards. I farmed 10 humility cards within like 2 hours, or 1.5 hours, which is actually super fast, but as you saw in the build showcase, my build is super fast, especially in Blood Aqueducts. So I was always doing the Delirium, and half of the map I was stopping Delirium, picking up loot, and then just kill off the rest. That's how I got to like level 70 in Blood Aqueducts, getting a bunch of those cards, and they are currently going for like 2 or 3 chaos per piece. 2.5, basically 2.5, 3 chaos, and this is how I could afford the Wasp Nest, since they are like 5 chaos per piece. I needed 10 chaos, so I farmed like a bunch of these cards, because initially I wanted to have the Tabula. I bought the Dendrobate at level 50, basically, when you can equip it, right? This is before Aqueducts, basically. And then I was like, you know what, do I need a Tabula? At the moment, I don't. Seriously, I do have enough damage with my Wasp Nest to just start mapping now. It's questionable if I want to have one once I go into mid-tier mapping, but I think for the low-tier mappings, what we're going to do tomorrow, I don't need one. And still, this is we have the lesser poison support here, so it's basically a 5-link anyway, so... And we have some stats, some resistances, what I'm lacking anyways. And since I met the thresholds with the 150 intelligence and the dexterity, you can basically say the increased damage and the poison duration is your 6-link basically, right? So it's not really necessary for me to go for a tabula. And that's why I'm currently having those for sale as another 20 chaos that I then can spend for the next upgrades, whatever it's going to be. Quickly going through the build here, the Wasp Nest, Dendrobate, the rest. It's just solo self-fun. None of these items are bought. Everything here is found. The only thing I bought basically are the Wasp Nest, the Dendrobate, and the Coralitos. The rest is just life resistance, life resistance, life resistance. Even the socket colors are wrong. There is no cast one image taker setup. I'm going to link the Path of Building link from this current state on level 73 in the description below. And based on the skill tree, it is basically exactly as I planned it to do. The only thing that I added here is to add this intelligence and this intelligence for the Dendrobate to actually get to 150 intelligence for the increased duration. And I have the first cluster jewel, which gives me just these added chaos. The problem is you're gonna find those above level 45 or so. The first one drops. I think I found a total of like 4 or 5 in total right now. I think I throw them somewhere into here. I'm not caring about those, like physical damage, whatever. But I think the most important, the most interesting for me at the moment is the medium-sized one, because this one has the low tolerance with the chaos damage or the poison damage over time multiplier and the 300% increased poison damage on a non-poisoned enemy, the first one at least. I think this medium-sized jewel will give me a lot of burst damage, because how I play this, I run around, I just hit once and run around, you know? So this first hit is going to apply the poison that is then dealing 300% more increased damage, and this is the poison that is going to proliferate it, you know? So it's going to do a lot of damage and it will help clearing in the maps super good, but for bosses it's not going to do any, or a lot basically, right? The thing is, this medium jewel does not exist yet. Probably it just has a way higher item level, but I have this one now. I know that I have one medium socket over here, so this is just like chaos damage, and here we have hinder on enemies. That's like not really anything that I need, but I just know, okay, as soon as I get the medium jewel with this mod that I just talked about, I can add this over here, and then I want to take this mod. At the moment, I just leave it as it is, because at the moment I don't really know what else I should skill. As you know from my skill tree, I would actually go over here then, right? Going down to the all resistance, taking the full Scion life cluster at some point, then taking those nodes here, maybe this one, the life nodes over here, attack speed, something like that, right? Like this, right? But at the moment I was like, do I need to get over here? Or it's so many points from this jewel slot down to the resistance nodes that I said, like, you know what, let's just fill up the other spots, like put in 2 points life here, this life point, taking the intelligence over here, taking those 2 life nodes. But at the moment, I don't really know what to do. If I would like say I have 10 more skill points, what do I need? I have all the poison clusters here. I mean, at some point I'm gonna be forced to skill here anyways if I'm not gonna find any kind of better jewels here. I can only give you the Path of Building that I have right here. I just rebuilt that with half of, like, the gear is in there, but no jewel slots, because I'm getting an error if I want to import my passive tree here, right? So I'm just getting an error here. I cannot do that. It's probably even reset it again. No, it's not. So a little bit is missing here. I think it's just because the cluster jewel that doesn't exist in the current Path of Building. So I still give you that one here so you can see what my character looks like at the moment. Good. What is the next plan? How are we going to progress on this build? I'm not even sure if I want to try to 6-link this. I mean, in the end, it's just increased damage. There is an energy shield on there. The lesser poison doesn't really matter for me, because how much poison chance do I have on my skill? Currently, 260% chance to poison, right? So everything above 100 is useless. So it doesn't really do a lot for me in this case. The lesser poison is useless, and since I said I want to use the queen, I'm probably going to invest now into Queen of the Forest, and this is going to be my first 6 link, hopefully at some point. The rest here would like to keep on with the life resistance. This additional strike is same as the Tribal Fury is something we're going to do probably on day 2 or 3 once we actually find the golden oil, but the golden oils can only drop, I think, from a monster level 80 or higher. This is already high tier, so I don't plan to get this early, but I have my Ancestral Call. But what would be great is once I have this additional strike as my hunter or only Tribal Fury, only one Tribal Fury will help you massively on the clear speed, then I can replace the Ancestral Call for a melee fizz, and this will be a shit ton of more DPS for my Pestilent strike. But as for now, it works like that. But Piranha's self-found is just attributes for my claws here, for the Wither Totem here, just to get it down, you know, for the DPS basically to hit my threshold here on the Dendrobait. But this is just like a placeholder at the moment. My gear is garbage. I like the Wasp Nests, I like my Coralitas. This is the start of something, you know, the Dendrobait, something nice to use. The rest, complete garbage, no jewels here. This is something I found on the floor, which is like fizz damage, damage over time, and attack speed with claws. Then here is the quest reward jewel, so there is absolutely nothing special in here. Good. I think that's it for now. What are the plans for today after I made a break, basically, or get some sleep, you know, typical stuff. I'm still human. I think I want to push heavily into white tier maps. I want to have the Uber lap done by tomorrow, or at least on today's stream, basically. This is one thing I want to focus on. It's not going to be easy either, because at the moment I need to invest into my character. As I said, I just killed Kitaver. I'm not res capped anymore, so it's kind of rough anyway. So I guess the first thing tomorrow I will do is selling those humility cards here. And with the 20 chaos or whatever it's going to bring, I'm going to buy a bunch of rare items and trying to get my jewel slots right, okay? Because there is like Flesh and Stone I'm not even using at the moment because I cannot reserve it. Then a whole cast when image taken setup is missing. Then what else is missing? The Empower here, the increased area of effect that I want to build in the Plague Bearer and stuff like that. So what I want to do is actually get my jewels, or at least my gems, properly, besides the 6 link. Then if there is some currency over, I mean, once I'm res cap, we're going to start mapping. Sadly today no Exalt drops, but once we have some more currency tomorrow, then I'm probably going to buy a queen and just going to go risk it and 6-socket it and trying to 5-link it. This would be a great start for a very speedy build. And I also want to fix my flasks. I spent like 150 alterations today trying to get a Divine Life Flask with bleed immunity. I did not get it. That's why I'm still running around with the level 42 one. So I want to fix my flasks, my gems. I want to get life resistance. I want to get res capped. And I want to do at least... if we're going to take a look at the map tab here, I found some maps already in the Blood Aqueducts. I want to try to... Yeah, I don't know, like 50 map completion or something. That would be great because I'm now able to level, right? Or to at least to map. So now is the time. The next 10 hours, we're just going to farm the low tier maps. We're going to push Delph. We're going to try the Temple. We're going to just do all kinds of stuff, trying how the Delirium mechanic looks like while mapping. And yeah, we're going to see how it's going to progress. At the moment, I'm super happy with the build. Super happy that I took this as my league start because it's a lot of fun to play. It's super fast. But I'm just a little bit scared that with the Queen of the Forest, it's too fast. Just because I'm running away from the cloud. You know, the cloud spawns, the Delirium cloud. And once I'm just running and walling blades through, the Delirium cloud is gone, you know. And then I was like, shit, I was too fast again. So maybe, you know, settle down. Or maybe they were going to change that or anything like that. We're going to see on the hotfixes the next couple days. Good. All right. I'm done now. Taking some nap, or at least a rest, and eat something, and then yeah, we're gonna continue later on. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and yeah, trade. See you on the next video.